Today we're talking about that time in the early 2000s when Audi was such a motorsport giga sweat that they won the 24 Hours of Le Mans disguised as a Bentley. In 1999, the top class vying for overall victories at Le Mans was in a bit of a transition. You had LMP1 for open top prototype, and you had LMGTP, which was for the closed top cars that basically GT1 had become. You had the likes of BMW showing up under the LMP1 open top regulations, and people like Toyota and most famously Mercedes with the CLR showing up in the LMGTP category. And then you have Audi, who showed up with 4 cars, 2 under the LMP1 regulations and 2 under the LMGTP regulations. And I need you to understand just how freaking insane that is. To develop one type of car for top flight motorsport is a Herculean effort. It is still a even more massive task to show up with 2 brand new types of race cars at the world's most famous endurance race. As for the race itself, well, the Mercedes did their flying antics, and BMW with the V12 LMR took overall honors. As for Audi, well, they finished on the podium, and they had learned what they had set out to learn. They had decided that the open top R8, well, that was the future. So after reworking the bodywork on the car, making the necessary tweaks to make the car more competitive, they showed up in 2000 with one thing on their mind: overall victory at Le Mans. And when I say they tweaked some things, well, one of the design things that made this car arguably one of the most famous race cars to ever exist was, well, how you swapped out the transmission. See, Audi had some minor concerns about the durability of their transmission, so they set about a quick way to replace the transmission. Well, I don't have to tell any of you, even on purpose-built race cars, replacing the transmission isn't quick. However, Audi looked at it and said, what if we not only swapped out the transmission, but the suspension, the rear body work, the brakes, and just took the whole back part of the car off, bolted a brand new one on, and sent it on its way? And well, that's exactly what they did, and when one of their cars needed a new transmission during the race, they did the swap in about 5 minutes. The Audi R8s would go on to win overall in 2000, 2001, and in 2002. And in 2003, well, a Bentley won, sort of. Buoyed by Audi's success, Bentley wanted a piece of the Le Mans action as well, and seeing as they were a fellow Volkswagen Auto Group member, they decided that they were going to take Audi's old, discarded, not used anymore, the LMGTP version of the R8 we talked about earlier, throw some Bentley bodywork on it, make some tweaks to the suspension, punch the engine out to 4 liters, and go racing. 03, Audi, as a factory effort, decided to take the year off, which meant all of its employees, who were still on staff, had really nothing to do. They were quite familiar with the LMGTP version of their car, and they went to work for Bentley. And, well, Bentley won. Technically, it was a Bentley, but it was also an Audi.